This is Ariel Withers reporting on murder subject A, Mr. Katurian.
Yes?
Could you please tell me about the story you mentioned earlier?
Which one? I've written quite a few.
The Pillowman.
Yeah, of course. A classic. Whenever...
To the camera, please.
Of course. You see, whenever a man or a woman is very, very sad because they lived a terrible and hard life and they just wanted to end it all. They just wanted to take their own lives, to take away all the pain. Well, just as they're about to do it, by razor or bullets or gas, whatever preferred method of suicide, preferred's probably the wrong word, but anyway, just as they're about to do it, the Pillowman would come to them and he'd hold them gently. And he'd say, "Hold on a minute." And time would slow strangely. And as time slowed, the Pillowman would go back in time to when that man or that woman was just a little boy or a little girl. To before their life of horror had really begun. Because, you see, the Pillowman's job was very, very sad. Because the Pillowman's job was to get that child to kill themselves. And so they would avoid the years of pain that would just have them ending up in the same place. Facing an oven, facing a shotgun, facing a lake. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I've never heard of a little child killing themselves. Well, the Pillowman would always suggest that they do it in a way that it could look like a horrible accident. He'd show them the bottle of pills that looked just like sweeties. He'd show them the spot on the river where the ice was just a little bit too thin. He'd show them the parked cars that were very dangerous to dart out between. He'd show them the plastic bag with no breathing holes and exactly how to tighten it. Because mummies and daddies are much better at coming to terms with a child being lost in a terrible accident than one who has seen their terrible future and taken action to avoid it. Of course, not all children would go along with the Pillowman. There was one girl, a happy little thing, and she just wouldn't believe what the Pillowman had told her. So she sent him away, crying, big gloopy tears. And then the next night, when she heard another knock at the door, she said, "Go away, Pillowman. I don't want to go with you. I'm happy, I've always been happy, and I always will be happy." But it wasn't the Pillowman. It was another man. And the little girl's mummy wasn't home. And the man would come and visit the little girl every time her mummy wasn't home. And soon she became very, very sad. So, as she sat in front of the oven at age 21, she turned to the Pillowman and said, "Why didn't you try and convince me?" Well, the Pillowman said, "I tried to convince you, but you were just too happy." And as she turned the oven up to the highest it could go, she said to the Pillowman, "But I've never been happy." again.